Welcome to Hello Helix. Allow me to quickly introduce myself. I'm Professor Helix, or Felix as my friends call me. Pretty soon, I'm going to be a familiar, friendly face to you too, because my job is to make sure you get all of the latest, exciting updates about Helix on a regular basis. I'm also here to make learning about Helix a bit more fun. And to kick it all off, we're going to hear from some of our executives, starting with one of Helix's #1 fans, Adolfo.
Being the best means that we need to have the best automation in the industry. This is the new normal. Helix has been helping us to make significant progress towards that goal by standardizing business processes, helping us capture data, and driving efficiencies all over our language services business. With Helix, we have a common workflow and an orchestration platform that link everything that we do from project management to language offices, and it gives us a standardized and a streamlined internal platform that allows us to capture all of that data. Think about this. This platform gives us the ability to work globally, flexibly, and work seamlessly across different locations and being able to adapt to different circumstances, different customers, and different events. Helix is playing a very critical role in enabling us to meet the customer requirements, meeting our customer needs, whilst at the same time finding ways to boost efficiency across the business inside language services at SDL. And it's helping us improve visibility and standardization of our processes.
Did you hear how important he said it is to learn about Helix? Ah, now that just makes my heart go pitter-pat. Let's hear what Az, who I like to call the Grand Master of Helix, has to say.
Hi, you've just heard from Adolfo about the scale of our ambition and what we're trying to do with SDL. One of the big parts underpinning that is our automation agenda, and a large part of that is our Helix platform. Many of you will not have been on the whole Helix journey, having joined us since 2016, but I thought it would be useful for you to understand why we embarked on that in the first place. Back in 2016, there was a lack of standardization and consistency across our language services operation. The same outcomes to clients were being delivered by very different means, very different processes, and localized solutions. And it was really hampering our ability to scale an efficient global organization. It certainly didn't allow us to do any form of data tracking, given that all the data was scattered everywhere, and gave us no holistic view over all of our work. In 2017, when we first launched Helix, even the simplest of jobs was incredibly complicated. Lots of complex handoffs and processes, all of them requiring offline job tracking, usually spreadsheets that were all inconsistent. Every office, every team in every office had created their own set of processes and job trackers, and trying to build a unified solution, if you like, to understand where all the data was, where all our jobs were, was impossible to do, certainly in real time. And by the time we could have assembled that data anyway, it was going to be out of time anyway and completely worthless. Our goal was to give our language services operation a unified platform, significantly reducing the administration, giving them a single view over all of the jobs, capturing consistently and systemically data about those jobs, masking the complexity of our other systems like Empower, and giving a simple, single, modernized platform for us to operate our business on. Since then, we've integrated Helix into a number of systems, including our strategic systems like Language Cloud, to provide ever-increasing automation. We continue to have more automation put in there, and a lot of the jobs now flow directly through Helix without having to have any administration. So Helix continues to evolve, but we've made good progress so far. Now, as our workflow platform, Helix is used to help us to manage the challenge provided to us by our customers of an increasing number of jobs in decreasing amount of time, which is a huge challenge. And it helps us to do that by the following. Firstly, it helps us to track and manage all jobs regardless of where they are. At any one point, we've got visibility of where jobs are, where they are in the world, how long there is to go, and we can see up and down the organization in terms of that flow. So from PMOs to language offices to the supply chain and back again. That visibility is incredibly important for us to be able to manage the work and our customers' expectations. The second way in which it helps is also to help us understand ownership. So we understand who touches what where. It also captures data, for example, quality data, that we can then use later on for audit and other ISO purposes that historically we'd have had to all do manually. The third thing is it has standardized and automated business processes, which has allowed us to essentially create shared operations such as the global language operation, but also has allowed us to onboard customers quicker using those standardized processes, allowing us to minimize the time to revenue. It also consistently captures data at all points along that way, allowing us to get data insights into our operations and our clients' operations in a way we could never have done before, and being able to both analyze that for our internal purposes, but also return that to the customer in near real time or even real time where that's necessary. In some cases, we have seen customers use that data not to manage us, which is what their original intent was, but in fact to manage their own internal operation. And the last kind of big chunk I think that Helix helps us to do is to manage our vendor network more successfully and more consistently. We've got a streamlined onboarding process that vendors really like, but there are new features that we are adding consistently and continually that reduces their administrative burden and makes us ever increasingly liked in the market. So overall, Helix has provided a kind of modern face to our operation, greatly improving the effectiveness and efficiency that our business needs to grow moving forward. And if you don't believe me that we need the automation and the tooling that Helix has provided, then perhaps you'll believe some of my friends instead who have come along to tell you that it was definitely worth doing.
Now it's time to hear from the dynamic duo, supporters of Helix from our PMOs, Amanda and Nico.
In the PMO, we've come a very long way in our use of Helix, and we should be proud of how we've transitioned into a Helix run operation. For our project management team, Helix brings many benefits. Jobs are tracked centrally, with reports specifically tailored to the PMO. There's no need for time-consuming email handovers. We've customised our workflows to ensure that files are only handled by a project manager for value-add steps. The use of Helix in our accounts has resulted in significant time savings and automation. For example, internal POs are generated automatically. With straight-to translation templates in Helix, jobs can be sent directly to the language officers, allowing quicker time to market for our customers. Sales order automation has meant that for some jobs, costs can be automatically processed in Helix and sent to Empower without any manual intervention. And with the auto-completion functionality, jobs can be automatically delivered back to the client. Very soon, with the introduction of SDL Quote, the end-to-end process for the PMO will be even further streamlined. Ultimately, Helix will enable us to process large volumes of smaller jobs with next to no project management touchpoints, freeing up our time from manual admin work and allowing us to focus on higher value and customer-facing tasks. These are critical to our future growth.
Helix will provide many advantages to our RI project managers and partners as we move more accounts into the system. For example, work can be tracked and managed online in a single system by all stakeholders, providing accurate and up-to-date records all in one place for everyone. The system reduces the need for cumbersome email handovers. It allows smoother interactions with our language officers, helping us work more closely together as one team. The ongoing integration with Language Cloud as well as some Helix key features like customized workflows, will ensure that files are only handled for critical value-adding steps. Helix will also allow further system integrations, enable us to roll out significant process improvements, particularly on financial processes like the work in progress management, quoting, internal POs, or SO automation. With all these benefits and more to come, we look forward to continued investment in language services of the future here at SDL.
Hearing about why Helix is so strategically important to SDL is bound to get you as excited as I am to dig into learning as much as you can about it. Now it's Maria's turn, the great Helix adopter, to enlighten us even more.
Helix sits at the very core of our day-to-day activities in the language offices. With Helix, we can quickly and easily monitor incoming jobs and manage assignments even as our turnaround times become shorter and shorter. For every one of these jobs, we can capture key data at various stages of the workflow. This includes vendor quality information to inform future vendor allocations and critical information to support our audit processes. Integrations with TMS, Language Cloud, and GroupShare allow us to manage our work through one core system without the need to keep track of long and complex email chains or manage offline trackers. We can effectively and flexibly distribute work across our global organization, including the Global Language Office and our vendor network. With greater automation, much of the admin effort involved in managing internal and external purchase orders has gone away. Helix helps language offices be even more customer-focused in a more efficient and effective manner.
It has been a long journey with Helix, and Helix will continue to evolve. And I encourage you all to continue to learn about the new features, the new functionality that are keep coming through, and that you'll find them on the weekly emails. You'll also find them on the Helix Learning Zone on MyLX. In this Learning Zone, you will find all the things that you need to know, all the courses and modules, and they will become very quickly released, and they will keep you in the know. Whether you are working with Helix every day or you lead a team who is working at Helix, please spend some time on the Helix Learning Zone, and I'm sure you'll find the time was well spent. Thank you very much.
I just love hearing how Helix is making such a strategic and operational difference to SDL. And although it's time for me to say goodbye for now, don't worry, you'll be hearing from me again. Every time there's an update to Helix, you'll be seeing your good friend Felix with another installment of Hello Helix, ready to share the latest and keep you in the know so that you can be the very best at using Helix. So bye for now.